Hey guys. So obviously I already have my makeup done. Such a dad. Seriously, I apologize. So here's the situation. It's the end of the day. I don't feel like doing my makeup just to take it off again. So I figured today's video I'll do some skincare while we do the palette tag. Eyeshadow palette tag. Eyeshadow tag. I have no idea what it's called, but it's the one where we talk about all the eyeshadow palettes. The oldest, the newest, cheapest, most expensive, etc, etc, etc. If you're into this kind of stuff, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. So before we get started on that, I will just walk you through what I'm doing for skincare. Right now I have a mask on. It's the Neutrogena Deep Cleaning. Nope, it's not. The Neutrogena Deep Clean Purifying Mask. It's a clay cleanser or mask. So this is what I use as a cleanser, and then you can also use it as a mask 2 to 3 times a week. But jumping into the eyeshadow palettes. So the first one on the list is the newest palette. And for me, kind of embarrassing to start this route, but it is the Amazon palette. Yay! I just did the video on this one. It's a little tricky to work with most of these colors, I think. They don't really perform the way that you think they're going to, whether that be too light when they go on or too dark, doesn't blend, wrong color. That's my thought on the Amazon palette. The oldest palette. This part makes me so sad. A couple of years ago, I actually found an old makeup case, like from when I was in high school, and it had an eyeshadow palette that was legitimately probably the first one I ever bought in high school. And Allie Glines, who also did this palette tag, she had the exact one that I used to use all the time, but we moved and it either got lost or thrown out. So my oldest palette that I have left is the Urban Decay Naked 2 palette. This is so old. Before I went to school for makeup, so 2012, so 8 years ago, I probably only owned that little eyeshadow palette from high school. I did not do makeup. I didn't own a foundation. I didn't own a concealer. So when I got accepted into this makeup school, I went out really quick and bought one high-end palette so that I could say I had it. And this is the one. But I don't know, it's just really good for cool tones. It's really old and I should probably throw it out, but I don't think I ever will. Okay, the next one is the most expensive palette. Tarte Beauty. I mentioned this in another video as well, but it wound up costing me with the shipping to Canada $88 Canadian. I mean, it's beautiful. There are quite a few shades, but yeah, definitely that is the most expensive palette that I own. My most affordable palette. So this one could be one of two. I don't want to keep repeating palettes, so I'm going to show you the different options. So the first one, obviously the Amazon palette, but if I'm not repeating that one, the NYX Ultimate palette. This one I recommend all the time. It's 21 bucks for a whole bunch of shades that you can probably get some use out of on a daily basis. Might not be the highest quality, but for the price. Okay, I'm gonna quickly go wash this off and then we will continue. Speaking of Amazon, little PSA I forgot to mention here. The Neutrogena cleanser, you can get it on Amazon. Next up, I'm gonna use a toner. Thayers, I think it's Thayers, but I have no idea. It is the Witch Hazel Facial Toner, and it is alcohol-free. Got this at Fiddlehead's, just a health food store. So next on the list, my everyday eyeshadow palette. Again, I'm gonna give you 2 different options for this one, because I could probably go back and forth between these two. So number 1 is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance. Number 2, Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Glam. They kind of have similar shades between the two of them. The more orangey shades can be used as your crease transition shades, kind of a browny red, the warmer browns. Okay, don't do that. But then they both have really pretty shimmers if you just want to throw that in the center of the lid. Okay, before I move on to the next palette, I bought these 24 karat gold concentrated recovery eye masks. Sekura Skin. Sekura? I don't know how to pronounce names of things. It's the perfect solution for dark circles and puffy eyes. Oh, okay. There's a lot of liquid in this tray. Oh, good God. It's like a slug. It just made me think of it, but I just found a silverfish in our bedroom right before I came down to film. If you don't know what those are, look them up. Disgusting. Like earwigs. Pretty sure once you have them for life. I'm not gonna make another herpes joke in this video. Moving on. The most colorful palette. So again, I have to show you 2. Number 1 is the Amazon palette. I cannot deny that this one is super duper colorful. But if I'm not showing you the same palette over and over, my most colorful one is the OMG Eyeshadow Collection by Crown. Okay, this is pretty sad. On camera, it's not showing up super colorful. I don't know what to say. I guess go with my Amazon palette. The quality of this one is not all it's cracked up to be either. I think I've used this like twice. You guys should see my shirt. How I tell time. Alright, I'm just gonna quickly throw on a lip balm. I have not tried this yet, but this is another Amazon find. A friend of mine suggested it to me, strictly based on the name, Hooker Lips, and it is dill pickle scented, but my husband hates pickles, so needless to say, I bought 13. Oh yeah, it's not super strong. The more I sniff it, the less I smell the dill pickle. It says on the label it was made in BC, so go Canada. The next one, smallest palette. Where is Can't do singles, right? Because I have a crap ton of those that I don't use. Alright, smallest palette. This is from Makeup Forever. Technically, I made it myself, so I don't know if this counts. It could be cheating. Make your own 3-pan palette. I chose this, and I think I've used them. Have I even used these two? You can see how insignificant these have been in my life. This was not a practical palette for me to make. When would I ever use these colors together? And this was the beginning of my makeup career. My biggest palette. So the first of 2 of my biggest palettes, because one I've already shown you, a Crown palette, whole whack of colors in there. My second biggest palette, Too Faced Natural Lust. The thing about this palette, it does have a wide range of colors, so if I want to go with the more pinky tones, warmer browns, kind of the goldy colors, the quality of it, there are better palettes, and this cost, I think, 70 bucks, so for $70, no. So the palette with the best memory. Urban Decay Naked 3. I'm sure you know these are more of the blush tones for the most part. It was between this or my Urban Decay 2 when I moved to Vancouver, but I had to choose this one because I wore these on my wedding day, which was one of the best days ever, on one of the best weekends ever. Worth the hype. What was worth the hype? Worth the hype, I'm going to say the Tarte Beauty palette. All of the shades are just really, really pretty. The texture's amazing on them. The glitters, I don't really wear glitters, but when I do, they're just crap your pants good. Oh, and the sequins. I find all the sequin shades are very unique. I know some people don't like that there's a bit of shimmer in like a black shade. I think it's really cool to have an option for the outer corner that's not matte. Take these off now. Not sure that made a lick of difference for my dark circles. So for my moisturizer, probably should have done this first, but I wanted to get the eye masks on. I'm using the, what is this? Protini Polypeptide Cream. Whatever, it's by Drunk Elephant. It's a moisturizer. I'll show you in a second. Skincare complete. Not worth the hype. I don't know if this had much hype. Obviously I bought it for a reason, so I feel like I had to have heard about it, but it's the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Volume 3. It looks really cool. Oh, the mirror's falling out. Had you for like 5 years, you can hang in another 5 minutes. This looks really pretty in theory. I don't find that the shades go on very pigmented. Just this one is matte. Everything else is a full-blown shimmer, so you really can't do much of a look with just this palette. I guess if you just did shimmer on your lids, that's an option. Overall, if there was any hype about this, it's not worth it. Okay, my favorite from a favorite brand. This is so tough. Okay, it's between 2 again. I'm between Tarte Beauty and Modern Renaissance. I'd probably lean towards Modern Renaissance. When I got this palette, I feel like it was just such a game changer. If you've used it, you know what I'm talking about. The texture, it's so buttery, it's so creamy, it's pigmented, but it blends so easily. It has nothing to do with the brand itself, I guess, except that when they released this, they really did change the game, I think. So this one, this is my favorite. And I'm gonna say from my favorite brand, but I'm hesitant on that. But I can't think of another one that I would vote for over this one. Okay, and my most used, technically this might be cheating as well. It's a Make It Yourself 4-pan palette, again by Anastasia Beverly Hills. A couple of these shades, actually 3, I think. Yeah, 3 of these shades. So these 3 are actually shades from Modern Renaissance. I just grabbed them because these are the ones I use most from Modern Renaissance. And then this one I got it because it was the closest shade I could find to another one that's in the Modern Renaissance palette. The reason I'm saying this is my most used palette, not necessarily most used on myself, but on clients. This is just so quick and easy to use. Crease shade, outer corner, lid, or lid, depending on which tone you want to go for the accent color. Okay, that's it. I know that was a pretty uneventful video, but hopefully it helped you out in some way. Maybe if you're considering getting a new eyeshadow palette, if you guys decide to do this challenge, I would love to see what palettes you choose. So make sure you use the tag, whatever I have tagged in the title of my video, or tag me if you want me to see it specifically. But yeah, I hope you found that interesting, or at the very least, I hope it helped you kill some time if that's what you were trying to do. And I hope to see you back at some point. Bye!